Well, happy Friday, everyone. We're here with our normal total traffic and conversion crew, sort of normal. Betty and Bonnie. Roy will be joining us soon. Today, our theme is we've decided that we're going to create marketing strategies specifically for dental practices. That what we do will apply to almost any business that wants to show and sell stuff, but we're going down and niching that. And this whole program today is about what we're doing for dentists. So I prepared a little presentation here, and let's run through that. Let's see, maybe we'll do this. Take that off the screen. So, okay. So what we do at Total Traffic Conversion is loosely described as integrated marketing strategies, marketing approaches. And who this is for is any dental practice that wants to attract more patients and professional staff. I think dentists have said that it's more than just patients. You also want to build a really qualified staff, specialists, people who bring new products, new services into your practice just to grow. You want to be a full shop, one-stop shop. And then this is an introduction to who we are. Betty Withrow is a content writer, ghostwriter, and what she will do for this mission is articles and posts, newsletters, and if a dentist wants to write a book, we can create a book for it. And my area is mostly multimedia, posting, and business automation. That's landing pages, all that kind of thing. Roy DeCan is a Google expert, SEO expert, and he has a special tool that we're going to talk about quite a bit later for lead acquisition. John Waller, I'm hoping he'll join us too, is a specialist in phone systems, like those messages you hear when you're waiting on hold. Most of his clients are dentists, but he can provide services for other companies, any large office with a phone system, really. And then Bonnie does a lot of things too. But she's here to do social media posting and direct mail. And we'll talk about those a little bit later. And so this is basically what our approach to growing your practice. The first step is to understand your goals and messaging. We understand what your brand is, who your ideal clients are, what kind of messaging you like to do. And then the next step is then we take a look at, after we understand that, we take a look at how the world sees you. Like what does your website look like? What does it look like in your office? Is your marketing coherent with everything, all your messaging? And so that's part of what we'll do is we're going to optimize your online. And that's really important for what we call magnetic marketing. So people just really see what you're about and they want to come and be part of your practice, come and be a patient or come join your team. And the content marketing campaign, Betty's already created quite a few specialty email sequences for the dental practice for various aspects to it. So we've got a lot of things already ready to go. So we just have to confer with you, confirm a few things, and we're ready to go. And this active lead acquisition, Roy DeCan, I hope we'll talk a bit more about this here. He's got a special tool that really captures leads when people are looking for services like you. They're looking for a certain kind of dental treatment, and the system will acquire their contact information, and we can put it into a email and get you into a marketing campaign, get them into a marketing campaign almost right away. And then here the thing is the continuity. A lot of especially the Dan Kennedy way is you keep your existing clients happy and you let them know about expanding services. So they may come in for a dental cleaning, maybe some emergency dental work, but there are all sorts of other related services that they may be interested in, and it's a lot easier to upsell things to a loyal client than it is to acquire a new one. And here, going back, we're just going to go through a bit more details. The first thing is the goals and messaging, and normally Betty and sometimes all of us will sit in a meeting and we'll really listen to ask you questions about your practice and your ideal clients, and where you're at, where you want to go, and that will result in a roadmap that will help inform everything else we do for you. Then the next thing we do is we make sure everything's up to scratch for your website, your social media profiles, platforms, all that kind of thing. If you don't have a YouTube channel, we might suggest that you have one and make better use of it. And the Google and Apple business profiles, that's really Roy's area of specialty. So if you may know, they're trying to find a dentist in your town. They load up the maps, and these little ads pop up with profiles of dentists in your region, and that's all done with Google business profiles, and Apple has the equivalent. And so that's one thing we're going to look at and make sure that's all working properly for you. And then John Waller is a phone specialist, as I mentioned earlier. We're going to see what your messaging is on your phone, and maybe you don't even use automatic messaging, but we'll look at your practices for answering the phone too. And then this is where Bonnie comes in as some print assets and brochures and things. Most dental practices are in pretty good shape for it, but we'll take a look, see what could be done better. And here's the content marketing campaigns. So this is Betty and I do this quite a lot with email sequences, blogging and posting, and then John's specialty is on hold messaging, video marketing. All of that is content relative that's of interest to your ideal client, your patients, and so we help expand that program and implement it using a variety of strategies and technologies. And then here, this is where Roy DeCan's Conversion Alchemy comes in. It's active lead acquisition. The system really monitors what people are looking for online and captures their information, and it allows us to send them an email that's timely while they're in the act of searching for something. And then again, with the email campaigns that Betty's been working on, we can automate that, get them people in. Ideally, we want them to opt into something so that they actually choose to receive the information. And then part of this exercise is building lists. And then all of that same kind of strategy can be used with paid advertising like Google, LinkedIn, and Facebook advertising. So all of these things can be implemented. And then this is where John Waller's specialty is in office phone systems. So the idea of this is when people are phone and your receptionist can't answer the phone, they hear a voice message. And we have a couple of samples. Here's one sample that I'll play.
Welcome, and thank you for calling Lifestyle Dentistry, the certified fresh breath center. Conveniently located at 3640 Highlands Parkway Southeast in Smyrna. We're here for all your dental needs Tuesday 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Wednesday and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Friday by prepaid reservation only. To schedule an appointment with us, visit our website at lifestyledentistryatl.com or stay on the line and we'll be happy to assist you momentarily.
I think there's another one coming up here, another example.
As a 100% veteran-owned, woman-owned, and dentist-owned organization, we at Lifestyle Dentistry do things a little differently. Sure, we provide the best dental services possible while using the most advanced, state-of-the-art technology available, but we're also committed to educating and empowering our patients so they can make suitable decisions concerning their oral health.
Yeah, and as I'm listening to this, some of these things could be used for radio ads. So, and then let's see here. So what I'm gonna do is conclude this presentation. Roy has just jumped on here, and we have a couple of packages that we offer, a premium package and a standard package. And I'm just going to generally say that they're closer to done for you programs than done with you. What I mean by that is, there we go. what I mean that by that is the first process is to sit down, and Betty and then our team will sit down and we'll try to understand your practice, where you're at, where you want to go, what your ideal client is, who your ideal client is, what your specialties are. And then from there, we will work out campaigns for you. And for the most part, you don't have to be actively doing them. You will be involved weekly with approving what we're doing. But for as much as possible, including the tech and all the implementation, we're going to do it. And anyway, so Roy's joined us here from North Carolina.
Trying to.
Yeah, there we go. And
whoa, that was John's trying to get in too.
I just dropped the link for John in our chat, so hopefully he can get here in a second.
Yeah.
And what was that was going on?
Yeah, so I did a little presentation, and including some of the samples that John had provided.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so it ran through. I'll just give you. Let's see. I'll just step back through here.
Sounded like you were having a conversation with somebody.
Well, so here I did an introduction to the five of us, and then here are the main things: goals and messaging, improving your presence, content marketing campaign, active lead acquisition, and retain your current clients. And so the one thing I wanted to talk about too, the first thing, maybe Betty's the best person to start with here, is what have you been doing for these content, the email sequence, and also that could be used for blog posts and social media posts?
Well, what I've been doing is zeroing in on one type of dental practice and creating a series of 12 messages that follow the concerns that people have when they start looking into what, for example, a cosmetic dentistry practice provides. And so the sequence is, as you pointed out, Greg, needs to be an opt-in. The first thing they will get is an invitation to opt in. And if they decide they want more information about cosmetic dentistry, then they'll get information like about implants, about crowns, about veneers, and bonding, and different ways that people can improve their appearance, including gum shaping and so on, so that they have a basic understanding of what the procedures are that are involved, and they can start to decide what's going to be best for them. Naturally, they were going to need to talk with the dentist themselves, in an in-office visit. But, for many people, going to the dentist's office is just not their favorite. So they want to have at least a basic idea of what's going on before they make that appointment. And that's the point of these emails. They can also be repurposed for blog posting on a website, so that people can get that same kind of information even without an opt-in, which can be another way to spread the information. You can put the bullet points from these posts into a social media campaign, and so on. So everything that I create is designed to be repurposed, and that's how it's done.
So that should be our motto here: is you create once and reuse many places. And the whole point of this is so that your practice appears everywhere. So when people are looking for the kinds of services, you can find information about what you do, and to build know, like, and trust your practice. And so those are what I would call those kinds of things are more or less the email sequence, especially like if in the context of a newsletter or a mailing list, that's keeping in touch with your existing patients and keeping them engaged and keeping them informed about new things that are coming up. And but Roy has something special. He's been developing for quite a while with some other people AI driven thing called Conversion Alchemy, and it's a much more active way of capturing leads, potential patients for your clinic. So maybe you can talk a little bit more about that, Roy.
Sure. Well, basically, Conversion Alchemy for dentists, if we set this thing up for you, will help you create and scale your multi-channel monetization machine so you can become the single largest practice dominating your niche. That's really what it's all about. And the reason we came up with this, or I came up with this, however you want to look at it, it's real. I started it, but it's a combination of all of us. There are three inescapable realities, and one is the cost of traffic. Now, that's two different ways of looking at the cost of traffic. If you're buying ads, the ads keep costing more and more and more. And if you're trying to do SEO so you get free organic traffic, it's becoming harder and harder and harder. So the cost of traffic is going up significantly. If you're trying to advertise on Facebook, it's really incredibly expensive. Google is incredibly expensive. On top of that, conversion rates are going down. So that's the second issue that's inescapable here. And that is, well, we're going to get into some of those reasons, but basically it's because you got so many new competitors that everybody else is vying for the same traffic. So the things that Conversion Alchemy will do for you, there's two parts to it, really. The first is acquisition of a new patient. There's a lot of different ways you can go about it, but we've got a really good one. If somebody is searching for what you offer in the territory that you want to get patients from, we can grab that name and email address, and you have a chance to acquire that new patient. This is along with all the other stuff you're already doing or we can do for you. But acquisition is the big deal. But most people think that they got to keep grabbing new patients, and it's a one-time thing. But that's not the way Conversion Alchemy works. Conversion Alchemy, that's just the beginning. That's part one, acquiring the new patient. Then you want to have, the more services you have, the more ways you can acquire that new patient. And also the more profit that you'll make with all the patients that you acquire. But still, that's just the beginning. But also the more services you have, the more financial security you have, your practice has, because if for some reason you can't continue to offer one of the services, such as crowns, I can't imagine why you'd not be able to do that. But LANAP, for one thing, requires some extra skills and equipment and all that kind of thing. But anyway, the more services you can offer, the better your financial security is, because in case you can't continue to offer one for some period of time, you can offer the other one. So you're more secure. Now, the more services and patients that you have, the harder it is for somebody to compete against you. That's where we're taking you on this. That's where you can really dominate this niche. So you got acquisition and monetization, but monetization even goes beyond that, because even though you've got patients and you've got services, one service for that patient is not all you really want to have. You want to have another service when they have another problem, when they lose a filling, or when they need a cleaning, or when they've got to have a crown. So you've got all kinds of different things. Now, our service tells people who are not even your patients yet all the different things you can do, not all at once, but over a period of time. And it tells your patients all the things that you can do over a period of time. So the object is to be able to create lifetime value with every patient. Now, this is every new one and every one you've already got. So this is what we offer, is converting the patients that you've got right now to lifetime value patients, and anything new that comes in, we're lifetime value for them as well. So really, the answer to becoming the biggest, most important dental practice in your area is the Conversion Alchemy system. And that's what Total Traffic and Conversion offers.
Awesome. Thank you. So welcome, John. John finally got the link working. We're having some technical issues.
Got a link. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was, anyway, going along, you said something, Roy, is we're attempting to deal with both things. One is acquiring new patients, bringing new people into the practice, and then also maintaining good connections with your existing patients. And that's where Bonnie comes in. Bonnie worked in the natural health business, and most of that, her success was just simply showing up and keeping in touch. And you just keep reaching out regularly. And one of the things you used was greeting cards and postcards. So
Yes.
You maybe want to talk a bit about that?
Yes. I didn't realize how powerful my postcards were until I got a call from head office. I was working for a pharmaceutical company, but that catered to the natural products industry. And if I sent out a postcard every month with the sales, because our company was a little bit slow. And suddenly I got a call from head office going, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And I go, "Why?" And they go, "Your sales are higher than anyone else in the country." I said, "Really?" But it was so simple and easy to do. And postcards are 100% open rate. And I really found it effective. The other thing I did is, if I found out one of my customers was sick, I sent them a get well card. If it's their birthday, I sent them a birthday card. And so those little extra touches are very special, because people don't get things in the mail much anymore. And it's not a bill. It's something friendly, inviting. And I think it's one of the best tools a business can use. Now, up in Canada, I had a friend that completely only did dentists, and she was extremely successful using this system. And so I'd love to share that with along with everything else we're doing. So the client gets touched in different ways. And the email, the greeting card, and the voicemail that we're going to talk about, all of it comes together to let the customer know that you care.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bonnie. Let's go back to, I think, some of the things that Betty does. One of the things that I think many dental practices do pretty well is a kind of newsletter, which could be an email newsletter and also could be a print newsletter. So that's all along the lines of keeping in touch.
Right. And, some of the materials that are used in an email series or in a blog can also be incorporated in a newsletter, because people aren't looking everywhere that you're posting. So you want to be sure that they can have, what they would want to know about what's going on in your practice, especially if you're, say, bringing in new staff, and you can get to know your staff highlights, which is very humanizing and makes people feel loved, which is what they want. And so a newsletter can be very useful for that type of thing.
No, that's great. Anyway, now that John's here, we in the slides, I did play some of the samples that you sent earlier, and maybe you can explain a little bit more about what you're doing with the audio messages.
Sure. What we do is talking about patient retention and people feeling loved. My first foray into this industry 27 years ago was with a company called Impressions on Hold. And what we do at the On Hold experience is create an impression when folks are on hold, is to make them feel important, let them know about doctor's experience, the different services that the practice offers, so that they're not just hearing dead air or music. I kind of liken dead air to the dental practice of the 1960s. You would walk in and see the frosted glass that slid back and forth, and the only time you would get to touch and talk to the people in the practice was when they opened that up. So having a patient education message on hold is like having no frosted window in the practice. You're reaching out and you're touching your patients and making them feel welcome, that you want them there, that they're important to you, that they're an important part of the practice. And that's what we do on hold. We create a message that talks about the practice when folks are on hold versus dead air or just music. Because if they don't hear anything talking about your practice, there's a very real 70% possibility that they're liable to call the next practice down the list of Google, because you do have a lot of competition as a dentist these days. Like, for example, Galveston, Texas has 91 practices, and Galveston's a very small town, but there are 91 dentists there. So you've got to be the one that stands out from everybody else. Why would somebody call you and call you back? Is because you take care of them on hold. You make them feel important and special.
That's perfect. Thank you, John. So I think we've covered pretty much all the bases here about the different ways to help with your marketing and keeping connected, keeping your patients and happy and bringing in new ones. Any other comments about why people should engage us for this kind of work?
Only if you want to become the most important dentist in your area. Other than that, there's probably not much point.
Yeah, if you don't want any patients, that's good.
Yeah, you don't need us then.
You always do what you've always done. You always get what you've always got.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so we have created a where is it now? We have created a website where it's going to grow. We're going to put more information about what we offer and various things over time. But that's a good place for you to go and book an appointment with us. We're also all available on LinkedIn, which is where you're likely watching this. Reach out and say you're interested in learning more, and then we'll set up an appointment, see if this is for you.
That's why, Greg, I offer a 60-day free test drive. Eat the pizza for 60 days. If you don't like the pizza after 60 days,
Yeah.
you have to buy it. Keep on doing what you're doing. We'll put your music back on hold for you that you had before.
So when I was playing your your sample clips today, it occurred to me that some of them could be used for radio ads. So,
well, we prefer not to go in that direction. It's an on-hold message is a totally different animal than radio.
Yeah, no, just in terms of our total traffic and conversion, where we leave no stone unturned in order to reach clients. So, but that's anyway. That was just a thought that passed through my brain while we're doing that. So anyway, any other last suggestions other than Roy said, if you want to grow your practice, talk to us.
Yeah, I think Roy nailed it. That's really where it's at. If you want to be number one, if you do, call us or go to that website and make an appointment, and we'll jump in with you and figure out how to make that happen for you.
There's nowhere else
You can just wait for your competition to call us.
There's nowhere else where you can get all this from one company, essentially. One-stop shop for everything.
A one-stop shop.
Become the most important in the area you want to cover. Grow. start adding other offices if you want to.
Yeah.
Add other dentists. We can help you with all of that.
Yeah. So I think that this is especially valuable for companies that are growing, opening new offices in new areas, expanding their their empire, their dental empire.
Yeah. If you don't have an empire yet, we'll help you get one.
Yeah. All right. With that, I guess maybe we'll let people go for enjoy the rest of their Friday.
Good idea.
Good idea. So happy Friday, everyone. Talk to you
Thanks for
soon.
joining us.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah. Bye.